What's going on, everybody? This is the blockchain backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. And today we're going to be taking a look over here at the altcoin market. We'll peek over there at the Bitcoin price chart too, tie a lot of this stuff together. And I've got a lot going on the screen right here for the altcoin market. And I will explain all of this by the time we get through this video. Even if you know absolutely nothing about any of the things that you see on the screen, you should have a full understanding of what I've got going on here and why it has me so excited. So while we see a lot of different Elliott waves on here, we see fractals that are put on here, we see lines that are on here, and we see Fibonacci retracements that are all on here. All of this stuff does make perfect sense, but we're going to take all of it off the screen and start off fresh to get a better understanding of why this all has me excited. First of all, the chart that we're looking at is total 3, which is the total altcoin market cap excluding Ethereum. So this is the market cap of the entire cryptocurrency market if we don't include Bitcoin and if we don't include Ethereum. So every other altcoin combined, this is what we've got. $769 billion market cap for the cryptocurrency market. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time explaining why total 3 is so important to me or why the entire altcoin market is of focus to me outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I'll give a quick recap of why. We know that the remaining of the altcoin market outside of Bitcoin and outside of Ethereum has yet to reach out to a 4.236 extension. Meanwhile, the market cap of Bitcoin has reached out to a 4.236 extension, and the market cap of Ethereum has reached out to a 4.236 extension. Yet the remainder of the market has yet to get there. So if we presume that the top of the Bitcoin price chart is in, and we look back to what happened back in 2018, it was into a retracement that Bitcoin did that led to a huge rise in the altcoin market. Bitcoin had a monster fall from the top into its retracement back to its 702 retracement. This is where the altcoin market went wild. As we all know, the price of Bitcoin has been falling dramatically over the course of the last couple of months, about 50% down ever since it hit this 4.236 extension, yet to start any type of retracement until maybe within the last 24 hours. But what we know is that in this time period, Bitcoin did not go on to set a new all-time high, and the altcoin market did roar into that moment. We can see that represented here by looking at the altcoin market cap, that as Bitcoin went into this retracement, the altcoin market continued to go much higher. So something that's been on my mind is, are we going to have a similar circumstance from what happened back in 2018, that after Bitcoin has topped and goes into some type of retracement, will this altcoin market cap go on to do what we saw Ethereum and Bitcoin do to at least get out to the 4.236 extension? So that is why I focus on this right now. That's not going to be incredibly relevant for what we're going to be doing for the remainder of the video, but I wanted to at least preface it on why I focus on this. This is everything except for Bitcoin and except for Ethereum, and I focus on it because both Bitcoin and Ethereum have both already hit these targets. So what's going to happen with the rest of the market? So my general belief is that Bitcoin and Ethereum are heading into some type of retrace, but is this setup that's happening over here in the altcoin market, besides those two assets, if we look at the remainder of the market, is there anything bullish even happening here on this chart, or is the fate the same for the rest of the market as it is for Bitcoin and for Ethereum? One thing we've been watching very closely has been the Bitcoin price chart compared to the 2018 bear market fractal, in that it has been following a very similar bear market fractal for Bitcoin all the way down to these lows. However, this low came in right in here. As we can see, Bitcoin has now bounced up from that area. If you've been a follower of my channel for a while, you know that Fibonacci retracements, Fibonacci extensions are incredibly important to me, and they're the most important tool in my toolbox. Even in my intro, you can see my character jumping around, gets to the 702 retracement, breaks through it. Super exciting, right? Because historically, a 702 retracement can be a reversal point. It can either be a good thing if you're, coming into a pullback, and if you can get stopped there at the 702, but it can also be a bad thing when you're heading back to the upside. Like with Bitcoin back in 2018, after its top came in, Bitcoin ended up doing an ABC correction that took it right back to the 702. Rejected from this level, off into a deep bear market Bitcoin went. So you can see why the character gets nervous in the intro when we get back to 702. It can be an area that can completely reject, Or as I showed in the most recent video on XRP that I did, is that when you get back to it, rejected, but the second you get through it, it can be a completely huge breakout level that sends the price chart on its way. So 702s can be both positive and negative. If you can break through them, it can usually mean the price is going to go significantly further, but it can also be a reversal place as well. But it's not just true to the upside, it's also true to the downside. We can have pullbacks that go the opposite way. And as we showed the Bitcoin price chart reversing as it was pulling back up to the 702 retracement, what we've seen happen here on the total altcoin market cap, excluding Bitcoin and excluding Ethereum, has been that we've had waves all the way to the upside going from June until November and then pulling right back to this 702 retracement. And this has so far been the reversal point for the altcoin market. Now, that's really good. If we assume that these are 5 waves heading to the upside right here, then we can assume this is an ABC correction taking us back down to here. Now, in Bitcoin's example, it was a little bit different. We saw that the price was doing 5 waves to the downside, and that when the ABC correction came in, price was heading back to the upside and got rejected by the 702 when it was trying to retrace up. But notice we had 5 waves heading down and then ABC heading back up. In the altcoin market cap, we have 5 waves heading up with an ABC heading down to the 702. Now, if you're completely unfamiliar with what Elliott Waves are, markets have a tendency to move in waves, and many times they're incredibly difficult to pinpoint and figure out when they're happening in real time. But right now, we're actually having a moment in time where we might be able to pinpoint them. But the idea of Elliott Waves is that we move in sets of 5 waves to the upside and 3 waves to the downside when in a bullish market. And within these larger waves, we'll have smaller waves. And within those smaller waves, we have subwaves and even smaller waves within them. But the idea is within one wave, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And even within the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we go into a bigger ABC, in which in the ABC, we'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we go the opposite way again and do the waves all over again. But the idea is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside, A, B, C to the downside, and we can count these subwaves within the bigger waves. So when we look over here at the total altcoin market cap, excluding Bitcoin and excluding Ethereum, can we do these counts? Can we recognize the Elliott waves happening within here to indicate that a corrective wave is done and we can move on to another wave? Well, the thing we have to identify is 5 waves to the upside. So a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we have that? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we need to identify an A, B, C. Can we identify an A, B, C? It appears that we can, but do we need to have more information about this to say definitively that that is an ABC? Well, then we need to move our way down here and take a peek at this. So if we're going to have a corrective wave of an ABC, we need to identify the things that go on in an ABC. And what we call this is a 5-3-5 correction or a zigzag correction. The 5 stands for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 3 stands for ABC, and then 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a 5-3-5 correction, zigzag correction, and we'll dive into that in just a minute. But if you notice, there was a ton of other stuff on this chart when we started. I even had wave counts hidden within here that made it look all sloppy and a whole lot going on in here, right? So I'm going to take everything off the screen again, and we're going to say, well, if this is going to end up being an ABC, can we identify a 5-3-5 correction within it? That's the big thing we have to see. Is that in here? So let's start counting the waves. Once we hit the top back here on November 10th, November 11th, what do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have an A, B, C. I want you to take notice that wave C does not come above the top of wave 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have an A, B, C, with C not exceeding above the height of wave 4. Notice within here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. Where does C get to? Right to wave 4. Notice on a bigger time frame what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. Where does C get to? Right here to wave 4. But again, we're looking for a 5, 3, 5. Do we get 5 more waves heading to the downside here? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what we've identified here is a 5, 3, 5 correction, or a zigzag correction. Another thing to take notice of is in ABC corrections, it's incredibly common for what? For us to get back to the 702 Fibonacci retracement level and get rejected. And that's what we see happened right in here, that we pinpoint nailed a 702 Fibonacci retracement and got rejected at the end of the B wave. So we have a 5, 3, 5 correction, which is an A, B, C. Thicken that up a little bit, change the color, and get rid of that. And there we have it. So what's so interesting about this, right? 5, 3, 5, and it precisely takes us back to the 702 Fibonacci retracement. And even simple Googling of zigzag correction will tell you that a zigzag is the simplest form of a correction, where wave A is made up of 5 waves and wave B has 3 internal waves. Wave C is made up of 5 waves in any correction, irrespective of the category. Zigzag is a corrective 3-wave structure labeled as ABC. Subdivision of wave A and C is 5 waves, either impulsive or diagonal. Wave B can be any corrective structure. Zigzag is a 5-3-5 structure. And the relationship for these waves within each other is wave C can equal 61.8% of wave A, 100% of wave A, or 123.6% of wave A. The thing that I'm going to point to here in this zigzag correction is that wave C can equal 100% of wave A. And that wave C right here, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, can equal the exact same length of what wave A was. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave A, we ABC'd back up, and then when we go into our C leg, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that these can be of the exact same length to follow the rules for a zigzag. And if we take a look at the length of what wave A was and align it over here next to wave C, we can see that our corrections were nearly identical, meaning wave C equaled 100% of wave A. And for that, we have a zigzag ABC 535 correction that has occurred over here. And where did the correction take us back to? The 702 Fibonacci retracement, at the exact same time that Bitcoin finished this fractal. And last week we talked about confluences within the market. And it's one thing for me to just get excited because we get back to the actual 702 Fibonacci retracement and cross the fingers to say, hey, that's it. That was good enough. Is there anything else we can look for to say that it was good enough, right? And we don't talk about Elliott Waves too often on here because they can get incredibly complicated. And there's a lot of people out there who are going to sit there and scream, no, 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 the count is wrong. But I think we have a pretty strong count here. I think we have a pretty good 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 heading to the upside with an ABC correction with a 5, 3, 5 correction within that, with wave C equaling wave A. And it occurs right back down here to the 702 at the same time. And for that, I think we have completed an Elliott wave that is satisfactory enough to go ahead and start impulsing up higher, to start sending this altcoin market, excluding Bitcoin and excluding Ethereum, onto its Fibonacci extensions. And well, is there anything else occurring in the market to have a similar circumstance like that for the altcoin market to push up? And it all comes back to what's going on over here with Bitcoin, that Bitcoin has had a big fall here and has yet to have a retracement like we did back in 2018 that catapulted the altcoin market much further. And that maybe we're in the beginning phases of this, because we can look over here on the right side of the screen, there's green everywhere. And for that, I'm excited to see what's happening over here in the altcoin market. I'm excited to see that we pulled back to a 702. I'm excited to see the 5 waves up, the 3 waves down, the ABC with a 535 within the ABC, and wave C equaling wave A. And I thought this was fun to share this with you guys. We don't do too many Elliott Wave lessons here on the channel, but I hope that you guys did enjoy this, and hopefully it doesn't look too chaotic to you like it may have at the beginning of the video. But all right, that's going to be it. That's going to wrap it up for this one. If you missed it yesterday, I was on the On the Chain Live YouTube channel, did a live stream over there. You can check out those guys over here on the Chain Live, subscribe to their channel. There won't be a video tomorrow. There have been two today. There won't be one tomorrow. I will be over there on BitBoy Crypto's YouTube channel tomorrow for a live stream in the morning. But otherwise, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you're looking for something to do, you could check out my website over here. This is bcbacker.com. It's a course that I put together where I deep dive into the previous Bitcoin bull runs, the previous altcoin market cycles, tying them all together to show how this cryptocurrency market has worked in the past, talking about alt seasons and Bitcoin tops, all that good stuff. I talk about my personal exit plans in here, and I teach you how to set up your own charts and your own indicators within TradingView and CoinTrader Pro. The most recent market update is in here on January 31st, right there. And you can check out all of this educational content over here on bcbacker.com. Of course, you could follow me over here on Twitter at bcbacker. And I want to thank you so much for watching my channel. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you could be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick me up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.